Hi, Ophiucus. Ophiucus. English is my fourth language. If I'm saying that incorrectly, I'm sorry. You're probably gonna hear that a lot in this reading. So, welcome back. Um, Here is a story reading for you. So my style is, I've pulled two rows of cards from four different decks, and it's basically a question of alignment. So if there's something going on with you and your psyche and your understanding and your life, and it's not really working out or something's off about it, usually it's because there are things out of alignment. So the idea about here is to get you a story from one side of the understanding and another story from the other side of the understanding, and then putting them together at the end to give you an idea of how to bring those two things back into alignment so they can get along or so they can manifest or things like that. I read line by line because in so many readings online you can't the story, sometimes I hear a story and I'm like, oh, that happened, but it's like the reader isn't giving enough details or experiences or ideas onto how it could be manifest or show up in your life, that you could easily miss it. And so I like to read line by line because it gives us more ideas about what specifically or how specifically it could be showing up in your life, because there's so many details and nuances to everything. I want to spend some time giving you more ideas of, like, if you pay attention more this or that, or if you believe in this or that. So you'll see, hopefully this helps out a lot. So the first two cards here on the left side, my left side, are imprisonment and slavery and Egypt. It's funny because I last week or a few days ago watched the Prince of Egypt again. So this could be a strong past life energy coming to you to be worked on. This feels like, being a slave in Egypt. So in the movie, it's Moses. Yeah, it's Moses and his people, the Hebrews. I was paying attention to the movie. The Hebrews are slaves to the Egyptians, to Ramesses, yeah. Okay, so this could be past life energy coming back. So the energy here that would show up on is like, there's something inside you that feels like you're stuck somewhere, and also like your sense of freedom. Yes, your sense of freedom, or something about a situation or a thought process or a belief system feels so cagey. You feel so stuck in it that, like, it's almost like you need somebody else to get you out of it, or death, or like an extreme miracle to get you out of it, because it's just become a way of life. Like, it's so integrated in you, and it's like broken you down to the point where, well, that's it. This is it. Let's see the second line. Okay, so this is super interesting. So the second line is the four of scrolls and the four of forces and the five of forces, two blue cards, and one of them is upright, one of them is reversed, and the card that's reversed is the spring and autumn card, and the card that's upright is the summer and winter card. So it is like it's an extreme pull within you. So in the card that's reversed, the landscape, the season that's upright is autumn. Autumn means that you're in a harvest. You're about to, or you're in your harvest time. Lots of gratitude. Yeah, you're about to harvest things that you've been planting. So if you've been, the idea is karma. If you've done a lot of great things in the past and been an honest person, that kind of thing, you're gonna harvest great experiences, great feelings, great results, and vice versa. And then in this one, the card that's upright is the summer winter card. Is These are really pretty. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I had a very different thought. So the spring and autumn says, don't worry, spring is coming. Here, the winter and summer. So the summer is the active part. So it's you're still in a time to you're still in a time to put in a lot of good actions, a lot of good energy, a lot of gratitude into your vortex, into your escrow place, because the time for reaping is coming. And so you're still there's a few things that you can do, think, clear out, act on, cycles that you can close before you before you reap the benefits of the actions or the decisions that you've made. It's very strong. It's a very, very strong message for like those cards to be coming out. Oh, haha. Okay. That's so funny. Okay, so the next two cards are Luna and Winter. So we have another Winter card. So when it comes to that row, it's really like actions, energies. What have you been doing lately? What have you been spending the most bulk of your time, or the actions that you've been doing? Does it come from a place where if you were to reap what you sow, and that's coming, what would it be? And you still have time. So yeah, that's where it's manifesting at. That's what it's manifesting as. The moon here in Winter. So now, because we don't have the summer upright card, this is a stronger message about the winter. So the moon is basically the cycles. That you still have a cycle of renewal, right? So you still have one more cycle to go before you reap. So it's like what, 1 month left until, is it autumn coming up? Yeah, autumn here in the States, at least where I am. So you have one more cycle to go still, that you can reconfigure what's in your escrow space or what's in your vortex, so that when you reap them, the positive comes. So a lot of like if you have cycles to finish, or you have one more cycle to start so you can finish, what are you going to spend your time doing? What are your thoughts, and what things are you going to start doing to open and close the cycle in a positive way? And so the winter is in this deck. In this deck, the winter is it's not a time to receive. So you're still in a time to stand still and work on these things. So like I said, you're still in a time to close cycles, or put more positive thoughts, or change belief systems, or fix a thing that like pay your last bill or something, so that when the cycle starts again, outside of this season, when the cycle starts again, when autumn comes, you're not bringing these things with you. You close them out. Yes. So you're still in that cycle. You're still in that season of, you're still in the season of closing things out before you start reaping what's next in the autumn, and you have one more cycle to do that under. There it is. And the last two cards, again, funny, the moon card in a different deck, and then the gatherer. It's all the same message. You still have a cycle. There's still something that you have the opportunity to open and close before you start reaping the benefits, before you start gathering, as the words in the cards say, before you start gathering the benefits or the rewards, or the karma, whatever you want to call it, from what you've been doing. So you still have time. Good news. Yeah, the moon in this one, it's a little it's described a little differently. It's got the difference of energy between the shaman deck and the alchemy deck is you know, when you're in a pattern of light, what are you going out there and doing? What kind of actions are you taking? You still have one cycle to make sure that every action is come from a good place and from a steady place, and not a lack mentality. This is what it, from not a lack mentality, or when you're in your shadow aspect of the moon, within you, right? What are your thoughts? What are your belief systems? You still have one cycle to reframe all of these things before the cycle of receiving starts. Yeah, so very... I see. So the message in this, the big message with the slavery and all of these winter and moon cards, it's almost like you feel stuck, because it's like part of you wants to go out and do something and already receive. Like you feel like you've been doing this for so long that it's time to receive, and you haven't received the things that you've been asking or working towards, and that's telling you there's still more. So there's still little things that you need to close out, or thoughts or beliefs that there's still a little bit of work left to work on before you receive the physical aspects of the manifestation of those things. This is like Ophiucus. This is like you've been stuck in a contract for like a cell phone, and you want to get out of it and get a new company because you're not happy, but you're stuck. You're stuck there, and the contract ends next month or whatever. So you have one more cycle, but you feel so stuck in it because you're so pissed, or you want out, or you found a better one and you're so excited, or this is like a divorce and it's not final yet, but you already found somebody new and you want to fully get into the experience, but your divorce is going to be done in a month. That kind of thing. That's the feeling in this one. You're still stuck in one more cycle of repetition from where you've been. Work on closing that cycle before the next one starts. Work through all the emotions, learn all the things, close out all the bills, close out all the accounts close out the relationship before you move on to the next one. That's what this is, that feeling of being stuck. Alright, on this side here we have the scribe or mother, the scribe or writer, and the mother. This is funny. This could be like, have you been thinking about writing to your mother, or are you a female writer? Are you writing about a female character? Are you journaling? Is your feminine energy, or is your nurturing side of you needing to be expressed, needing to be acted upon? Or have you been thinking like, I should text my mom, I should text my aunt, I should text my sister, I should text, my brother, whatever. Energies are energies, but that nurturing thing about you. Have you been meaning to contact somebody and you haven't done it yet? Or are you a mother who's been meaning to contact somebody? That happened to me last week. I messaged my aunt, and her message back was, I've been thinking about messaging you for like a couple of weeks. I just haven't gotten around to it. And I was like, I got it. The next two cards are the One of Scrolls on track and the Seven of Forces in reverse balanced. Oh, okay. The on track card, I think it's pretty straightforward. Things are open. The stream of energy, everything is open, everything is on time, everything is fine. Don't feel like you're missing on something. But then the balance being in reversed means everything is still on time and on track. You still have time to put yourself back into balance, to close out certain things, or to get yourself back in alignment, or to work on your emotional state. You still have time before, something closes out. So, like, for example, if you've been thinking about, like, I should write a company, or I should send out my manuscript or whatever, or I send this letter out. If you have any thoughts of, like, what if, like, I missed a deadline, or I missed a deadline, or it's saying there's still time, but you do have to still, like, there's something still to be figured out for you to do the thing that you need to be doing, or write, or understand a character of yours, or a part of you. You still have time. You still have okay, so this is heavy. Saturn and lead. Actually, lead is ruled by Saturn. So Saturn is the planet of like, you can't get out of this until you learn the lesson, and it gets heavier and heavier, and ironically lead. It gets heavier and louder and worse and worse until you do. But when you do, Saturn is also a planet of major rewards, major change. It's no joke. So, yeah. And you still have time. Yeah, this is what I'm getting. I'm sorry, I'm trying to feel into more messages, but yeah, no, this is a very, whatever you're trying to understand or get or do, you are in a time of sit down with yourself, because there's something major and karmic here. That's like a lesson that you must look at, or something that you must understand before you nail the thing that you're trying to do. It's almost like if you're like, let's use the example of like you're a mother and you want to send a message to your child, but you don't know quite yet, or you don't know what to say. Give yourself a little bit more time. Something will happen, or you'll get the right words to say. Don't worry about it. And then the child and the smoky mirrors. Okay, that's funny. I was just saying if you're a mother, and which that would be the message. If it's that specific, which hopefully you can look at it symbolically. If it's that specific and you're a parent and you've been meaning to message your kid, and something like you always get distracted, or you're like, well, what am I going to say, or there's no good news, there's only bad, that kind of thing, that's because like you haven't figured out yet maybe like the positive way to say it, or what you want to say, or how to deliver the news, or something like that. You can't see it yet. Of course, if this is more of like there's a part of you that wants to be expressed, that wants to be liberated, that wants to come into like your creative self. Mother is the creation energy. She literally births and nurtures the thing, and scribe is the creation. It's the act of the creation. So you can't see it yet. Things aren't clear yet. It's almost like a part of you that you've disowned so hard. You've disowned so strongly, a part of you that you've ignored or you pushed away so strongly that now it shows up all the time around you, but you can't see it. It's just, you're so removed from seeing yourself in the thing that it's almost invisible, even though it's all around you and it keeps showing up. And the child energy, so the child energy is, there's a lot of feminine energy in these cards. The Gatherer is also a female, and the moon has a woman on it. There's a lot of feminine, and then there's the mother, and then there's a child, and the child is a girl. The child energy, it's like it's a renewal energy. It's can you restart something, or can you do the thing through a brand new point of view, or from a mindset? The mindset of, you're not clueless. You've already done these cycles. You're not like a child going out into the world for the first time, but it requires you to go out into the world for the first time with a childlike mind, while still operating from a place of you've already had experiences. So it's not like a naive child. It's a child that's already been out in the streets, but still has the chance to do things for the first time, type of energy. So whatever this is, don't worry about it. You can't see it right now, but whatever it is, you have a chance to start over, but from a much more like experienced place. It's almost like you wrote a book and it tanked, it didn't do well, and you're like, well, no, I don't want to write on it. It's telling you, yeah, you have another book in you. Take those experiences, take what you learned from the publishing or from that journey of creating your first book. Start over with a new book, but don't forget to integrate the wisdom that you had from your first experience. It's also a sense of faith. Trust in the universe and try and have faith. This could also be a second career. This could be a second career where you feel like you're starting over because you left your other career and it's so different that you're like, oh, but I wish, I wish I could start that second career before I leave the house. And it's telling you, no, you need to leave the house and the second career will pick up. Yeah. If you have some kind of security issue, like you need to feel secure before you take the leap of faith, this is telling you, take the leap of faith. The security, it's almost the illusion of it all. The security will come with the leap of faith, and you're like, no, I don't want to take a leap of faith without knowing for sure I'm secure. That kind of thing. Yeah. So putting these two storylines together, the obvious thread is you're stuck somewhere. Yeah, and it's pretty heavy, but there's still something that you need to close out before, and you need to see what it is in this new cycle that you have, other cycle that you have to figure out how to close this heavy energy or this heavy lesson. You still have a cycle to see what it is that you're missing. If you don't get it, if you don't understand that, like, there's a month left in this cell phone thing. You just have to write it out, and then in the writing out of things, you'll figure out, if you get a new phone, it's that period of, like, you have to reinstall things, and you have to resave your password and reconfigure the phone for your daily use. It's that period. You're still not at the period where you're used to the phone again, or you have a new phone number and you're still trying to remember what the phone number is. You're still not at the place where you've memorized it and you can just spill it out. You're still at the phase where it's a brand new phone number, and I can't just, when somebody asks me for a phone number, I have to look it up because I haven't memorized it yet, type of feeling. But everything seems on course. Everything seems good. Like, I understand you're stuck. I understand there's something that you're not seeing. Don't worry, there's one more cycle. A lot of other things are going to show up and appear in your reality to show you these are the things you must do, or these are the things that you have to make the decisions and make a decisive direction on. It could be the same direction you've been going to, but with a renewed sense of excitement and joy and faith and joy. I said joy. Yeah. It's gonna be a new cycle of self-nurturing and expression, a new cycle of creation with that childlike mentality. Maybe that's what you're losing. That's what you're building in this next month. And this is the lesson, is forget about what you've learned so far about security, about this. Go out into the world like you just graduated school and you have nothing in your bank account and you're just restarting your life over. Get that mentality every single day for the next month in this next cycle. And you will see, once the time for reaping or sowing your benefits start, you've put in the time and faith and trust in the universe, and then it's gonna, like, pick up in a flash, whatever it is that's coming for you or that you've been manifesting, and it's gonna be good. But you have to do the work. You have to work on whatever it is that keeps coming up and trying to show you where you've put the veil and where you maybe need more trust, or maybe you need to let go a little bit. And that's it, Ophiucus. That's what I got for you. I hope this helps. Good luck with everything, and I will talk to you next time.